Hello and welcome, my name is Shane Comley-White and you're with me at Rocking at the Movies, and we are now going to be getting into video number 2 of episode number 1 from Highlander TV series.
I'm Duncan Macleod of the Clan MacLeod, born 400 years ago in the... well, no, not really. That was a TV show called Highlander. So, just listen to Rocking at the Movies with me, Adrian Paul and Shane Comley-White, and you'll learn some interesting facts.
There most definitely will be a lot of information coming your way, so brace yourselves, strap in, and here we go. We're going to be talking about the first nemesis, or the first fighter, or the first villain who challenged or started bringing Duncan Macleod back into the gathering itself. And this particular individual was Slan Quince. Now, he had a nickname and everybody used to call him Slan the Cat. So just a little bit of information about him. He was born as a human before he became an immortal in 1767 in New York City. His first death was in 1812. Okay, so he became an immortal in 1812 because he was on a ship that was sunk by the British during one of the wars in 1812. Okay, so the way that you can become an immortal is only by a violent death. So if you are a normal human and you've got the immortal gene in your makeup, you can only become the immortal if you die violently, like you murdered, or you in a car accident, or you drown, or anything else like that. That is how one would become an immortal. If not, you'd be able to live out your entire life like a normal human, except for one other thing. Now, if you don't know what that other one thing is, let's see. I'm going to actually pose a bit of a question. Drop me a comment below and tell me, what is the one thing that immortals cannot do or cannot have? I think that just gave it away. That other humans are able to. Okay, but anyway, going back to what I was saying, you would live out your normal life and die of an old age if you didn't have a violent death. So it's quite interesting. It's a nice little twist to see how you can actually become an immortal. So you're not just born an immortal and then you reach a ripe old age and then you just stay at that and you never die, or you never grow old after that age. And you'll see down the line in some of the other episodes, they are young and they are very old, and they're very different kind of immortals from different ages, different groups, and different cultures. So very interesting to see how everything actually worked from there. Going back to Slan. So Slan, he is originally an American. He is almost like a soldier. So his military background kind of dictates the way he fights, but he's also very, very smart. So what he actually does is he plays with his characters. He stalks them, and he kind of, how can I say, hunts his characters, hence the word Slan the Cat as a nickname, and he plays with them. So he kind of makes you wonder what's going on. You don't know that he's around. He starts causing problems, and he even abducts family members that he can use as a bargaining chip down the line, so he can actually lure you in to a specific place, time, location that suits him best. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way, and it doesn't go down too well for him in this episode as well. So another little bit of history. He is a headhunter, so he goes around hunting for immortals' heads because he wants the power. Every immortal that gets killed by you actually absorb all of their knowledge, their strength, their skill, and you become stronger and stronger. So the whole game is to basically kill as many immortals as possible, so you become the strongest one, so eventually you could become the one and you could win the prize. Richard Mole is the actor who actually plays Slan Quince. He does it quite interestingly, and he actually pulls it off quite well. He's a little bit, how can I say, a little bit cheesy as a character because he's got certain things, like he wears a mask over his face, which I don't actually think is the best idea or the best reason. He says he wants to protect his most valuable asset, which is his face. But they don't actually say why he wants to protect that, unless he's just this very proud, arrogant kind of person. However, one little downside to that is the mask is pointless and useless. Because if you remember, he gets cut by Connor MacLeod on the side of the face. But one thing that they didn't show, maybe there wasn't enough time to show it, but one thing that happens to all immortals, any injury that they get after their first death, obviously not amputations or anything else like that, but any kind of cuts, stabs, burn marks, or whatever else, it heals without a trace. So there's no more scar, there's no more cut, there's no more any identification of something that has happened. So even if he gets cut on his face, a couple minutes or an hour or however long it takes to regenerate, it actually does get better. So he doesn't really need to wear this mask. It's very strange why he's doing that. He fights a little bit of an unorthodox kind of style. It's very rough and very crude, but it's very sneaky as well. So in his sword, that is his own sword. It's his own make. It's a, how can I say, personal design. It's a double-edged blade, broadsword, which also needs two hands to yield the sword. Very big and bulky. Don't like the handle at all because it's a solid tube, and look, to me it looks very, very slippery. And if you had to yield that sword properly in a proper fight, your hands become a little bit sweaty, and there's a very big likelihood that you are going to drop that sword, which is not a wise idea, especially against another immortal who is an expert at sword fighting. The other thing that he does have, which makes his sword very unique, is he designed or he created a sneaky little tool that is housed in the back of his pommel itself, in the handle. And so what happens was he pulls the sword back onto his shoulder and he points that handle at his victim or at his opponent, and then he shoots a dart. So a dart gets projected out of that into the person, wounding them for a little time, making them a little bit weaker, so it allows him to possibly win the fight. Okay, and that's what happened to Connor MacLeod. Connor got shot with this arrow or dart, and it caused him to fall over the edge of the bridge and down into the river. But then that is when that is when Duncan comes around, and he then challenges Slan because he obviously didn't defeat Connor right there and then. So then they had the ability to, with a new challenge, and challenge him with a new fight, because you can never fight more than one person at a time. It was meant to be a one-on-one, and it's not a team sport. Like I said, he's a little bit of an arrogant kind of person, thinks that he can play around with his prey and win the fight that way. But unfortunately, or fortunately, he doesn't last, because he gets decapitated by Duncan Macleod in the year 1992, which is quite interesting. And that is the first death or the first kill that we see Duncan Macleod actually going through, especially on camera. I would also like to get a little bit of a tally, because one of the movies gives you a rough idea of who the immortals are that Duncan did kill. So they give a little bit of a tally of that. But I think let's try build this up, and let's try work something out as well down the line. Now, this brings me to another point. If you're going to be enjoying Highlander as much as I do, and you're going to like all these little videos that I'm putting together and breaking down for you, I would like to offer you the opportunity to very, very soon join my Highlander fan club. Okay, and what we're going to be doing is there's going to be an option on my website, which I'm going to be launching very, very soon. So you're going to keep an eye out for that, and I will also announce it once it's done. But it's a small little membership that helps this channel grow, but it also gives you, as a member, interesting information and interesting training material that you could actually be part of and learn specific things. My background is I'm a fight choreographer, I'm a martial arts instructor, I'm a third dan sword fighter. That's why I love sword so much. It's actually, I got into sword fighting or training, especially those kind of swords, one that's behind me there, which is a katana replica, and that's a Highlander replica as well, because of Highlander. That actually got me into loving the sport so much that I really, really enjoyed it. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things that we're going to be giving you as a member. So please keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. I do have one more question, which is an official question to see how good you are, because I'm not good with this topic. And let's see who knows what the car is, what the whole item is itself. And let's keep the conversation going. In the first episode of Highlander Season 1, Slan Quince is sitting in a very, very, very small car. It's a silver car. I have no idea what it is. So if anyone does know what type of car it was, please drop me a comment and let me know, and let all of us know, because unfortunately I'm not good when it comes to car models, except my favorite car that I really, really like. And let's see, because I'd really like to know. But also, what is your opinion? I believe he was too big for that car. It was a wrong kind of car or wrong vehicle he was actually using at the time. He looked massive in that car. Keeping in mind, he is he's huge. He's about 6 foot. Yeah, he's 6'8", which is massive. I'm 6'3", which means he's at least about another head taller than me, which is huge, which is quite scary. So for him to sit in that car is it kind of just doesn't fit because he looked way too big for that car. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think, and tell me what car it was. And also, what is your favorite element of episode 1? All right, everybody, thank you so much. Come back next week. We're going to be having 2 more videos. We're going to be delving into episode number 2. And this one is revolving around Richie and his upbringing. And let me get the name for you itself. It is called Family Tree. So you don't want to miss out on this one and every single episode going forward. I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you like these videos, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.